Since we're talking about the Jokic thing real quick, this is the last thing I speak about, right? This summer I got this thing. I'm gonna make a couple of videos. I already did one. It's called Operation Help Jokic, right? And I'm gonna help his fans, the ones that say, "Oh man, trade Murray, trade Gordon, trade Michael Porter Jr." Like they want to trade everybody, and they say, I mean, I heard the fan look, because I like going like some Denver Nuggets chat groups on Twitter Spaces, on X, and all that stuff, right? And I just listen to them talk and complain and just complain and it's all complaints and complaints. I mean, I ain't never heard so many people complain about their own team. Like, do you like Denver or do you just like Jokic? Because they would lose a game. Jokic could have the worst game of his life. They would lose that game, and I would go in their Twitter Spaces, and the conversation would be about what Michael Porter Jr. didn't do. Michael Porter Jr. could have 24. Jokic could have 15 and 10 turnovers, and the conversation to be about what Michael Porter Jr. didn't do, right? And I'm like, man, why people think like that, man? They just complain. Like every loss they complain about his teammates. If the teammates perform well and they still lose, they was complaining about how many free throws SGA got. But when they win after a great performance from Murray and a game winning from Gordon, all they could talk about was how close Jokic got to a triple-double. So they're not going to be satisfied because every time they lose, they say Jokic has never had an all-star. He's never played with an all-star. Like playing with an all-star automatically makes your team better. Like it doesn't. Like what makes your team better is actually playing great basketball. Just because you drop an all-star on the team don't mean you're going to play great basketball. Denver played great, but they played great basketball with the pieces they got now. They're not playing great basketball now. They played great basketball when they won the championship with the pieces they got now. They're not playing. The difference is now they're not playing great basketball no more. Right? They're too Jokic centric. Once he started getting a taste of them triple doubles, he got closer and closer every year to averaging a triple double until he averaged it this year. Right? The offense changed for him to get to that triple double average. You could tell that was the priority. Because they was playing phenomenal to get that ring. And then it was like, all right, Jokic, let's go for history. Let's go get 6 MVPs. Let's go. I mean, you could tell, right? You know, I was listening to a podcast when Lonzo Ball podcast. I'm gonna do an episode on this, y'all, probably tomorrow. But I was listening to Lonzo Ball podcast, and he was telling us about Julius Randle when they played with the Lakers together. And he said at the beginning of the season, they sat everybody down, not like one-on-one, but like as a group, as a team. And they went over their roles for the season. This is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. And they get really strategic and really specific about what your role is. And Lonzo Ball said when they got to Julius Randle, they told Julius Randle. Now imagine telling the guy this with his type of ability. They told Julius Randle, your job is to get rebounds and set screens. That is it. How do you tell a person that? Your job is to get rebounds and set screens. That's all. You ain't getting no post-ups. We're not running no plays for you. You're a screen setter and a rebounder and a defender. That's what they told Julius Randle. And Lonzo Ball was like, what? He the best player on the team. Like, he's one of the best players. This must have been a year before LeBron got there. He's one of the best players on the team. Like, how y'all tell him that? Right? And people wonder why Michael Porter Jr. only shoot threes. That is his role. You can tell that's his role. In that offense, when you got 4 guys around the 3-point line, they're letting you know what the offense they're running. They want threes to go up off of Jokic's assist. And if Michael Porter wasn't on the floor to be a threat as a 3-point shooter, Jokic would get double teamed a lot more. And we've seen what happens when he get double teamed in the OKC series. He can get guarded by Caruso. Guess what? Guess why the floor wasn't spread like it used to be? Because Michael Porter Jr. had a hurt shoulder and couldn't even lift his arm up. Good luck getting a lot of threes out of him consistently. So you can look at Michael Porter Jr. and tell his role is just to get them threes up. That's all they probably ask him to do, and of course rebound and play defense for Jokic. But as far as you running any type of offense, getting a post up, getting a play call, us calling the screen for you, I mean, as good a shooter he is at 6'11", he ain't getting no type of Reggie Miller, Rip Hamilton coming off any type of double screen or any type of curl or anything. He ain't getting none of that. No Allen Houston type stuff. None of that. Just go stand over in the corner. Go stand on MLK corner with a bag of dope. Wait for Jokic to pass you the ball. And when he passes it to you, you better shoot it. Don't take a dribble. Don't go to the hole. Shoot it because he needs the assist. You have to shoot it when he passes to you. That's what's going on. So it don't matter if that's an all-star. I heard one of the fans say, trade Michael Porter Jr. for Zach LaVine. Okay. What's the difference between Zach LaVine standing in the corner and Michael Porter Jr. standing in the corner? Michael Porter Jr. actually a better shooter than Zach LaVine. And Zach LaVine get a lot of his stuff off the bounce with the ball in his hand. Imagine taking the ball out of Jokic's hand. Imagine telling Jokic, we taking the ball out of your hand so Zach LaVine and Jamal Murray can run the offense. So, and it's crazy. I heard them say that in the Twitter spaces, and I heard them say that on Gil's Arena. Kenya Martin said that, man. Kenya Martin and Brandon James was like, oh, man, yeah, I'll take Zach LaVine over Michael Porter Jr. any day. I'm like, y'all don't know what they telling him to do. This is what they're telling him to do. Shoot threes. And that's it. Now we're telling Zach LaVine to shoot threes, and that's it. We'll see how they go. He'll be traded by All-Star break. It's going to be a failed experience. People think they go get upgraded once they get rid of Michael Porter Jr. They think they go get something in return that's better. I can't wait. So Operation Help Jokic. I want to help them out, man. Get trades. I want to help them get trades, man. Let's say Indiana loses to New York in this conference finals and they want to make some changes. So you got to look for an all-star, right? So I look for all-stars. So let's see what works. Where if you want Siakam, you're gonna have to give up a lot because that's $42 million on the cap. Right. So you can't do a head up for Siakam and Porter. You gotta make it work. So to make the money work, you probably you gonna have to you got to throw something else in there when you look at their salary. Y'all go to this trade generating machine the ESPN do online, and you try to see what all-star you can get to fit with the Denver Nuggets. And when you see what the money situation look like, you go realize it ain't as easy as you think, and you might end up giving Porter and Gordon up to get it. So would y'all like? I'm just the Denver fans. Would y'all like Siakam with all these other pieces to make the money work for Porter Jr. and Gordon? If I'm Indiana, I'd do that. So now you got a big three of Siakam, Jamal Murray, and Jokic. Y'all like that better? Let me know if y'all like that better. Siakam not a three-point shooter like Michael Porter Jr. And Aaron Gordon was your best defender and guarded all the best players who also could score in the mid-range, in the post, slashing, catching alley-oops. He also clashed the boards and got offensive rebounds. He cleaned the glass on defense, and he also could hit the three. Shot at his best he ever shot it in his career this year, over 40%. Right, so losing Gordon, it's gonna be horrible. Losing Porter gonna be bad as well. But you get Siakam, man. Are y'all cool with that, Denver fans? I need to hear from a Denver fan, man. So Shador said that's good. He said that's good. I love it. Oh my God, I hope they do something like this. I love it, man. Oh man, Denver gonna be going down, down, baby. Yo, street in the range. Whoa. Hey, this gonna be bad. What about Michael Porter Jr. straight up for Jaylen Brown? Well, you got to add somebody in there to make the money work, though. But maybe Boston was like, dang, Tatum not coming back. And this is because y'all said y'all want an all-star, right? So I just went to the all-star roster and was like, man, who could fit? How could the money work? And what team would be willing to give one of their all-stars away? Right. So here we go. Jaylen Brown. Maybe Boston is like, dang, Tatum gonna miss an entire year because of his Achilles. He's making tons of money. Jaylen Brown's making tons of money, but we ain't gonna be competitive with just him without Tatum. I might want to not spend so much money. Maybe Al Horford retire. You know, Porzingis might not be able to get healthy again. Like maybe Boston start thinking about cutting their salaries down. And they tell Jason Tatum, look, man, we're going to have to get rid of some of these dudes. And when you come back, you're going to have to be the guy without Brown with you. So maybe they get rid of Brown for Michael Porter Jr. How does Brown fit with Jokic? Now, remember, when Brown get most of his points and most of his shots is with the ball in his hand off the dribble. So now you got Murray who get most of his points with the ball in his hand off the dribble. And now when Murray don't got it, in order for Brown to get his points, he need to get his points with the ball in his hand off the dribble as well. What does that leave Jokic to do all his Jokic things with the ball? Because Jaylen Brown ain't about to come over here making 50 mil and go stand over in the corner like Michael Porter Jr. You drafted Michael Porter Jr. as like an 18, 19-year-old kid. And Mike Malone benched him for not doing what he wanted him to do, and he wasn't getting his playing time, and then he finally had to get in the game and earn his playing time, and then you know he played phenomenal. They won the championship, then he got his money. But this is a kid that you grew up that he still haven't shown his full arsenal of what he could do as a player because he's playing this role in Denver. So he's okay with going to go stand in the corner because, hey, look, y'all made me a rich man. And I got a ring like this, so I'm okay with that. But good luck telling the all-star Jaylen Brown, who everybody say is arrogant and smart and all this, he knows his worth. Good luck telling him to go stand in the corner. Because when he shows up over there, in his mind, I'm better than Jamal Murray, number one. Number two, I work harder on my body than Jokic. He's not about to come over there and play second fiddle to Jamal Murray, and he might not even play second fiddle to Jokic. At least when he look over at Tatum, he sees somebody that's working as hard as he is and working on his body and staying in shape. He go over there and say, like, man, this how y'all get down. Y'all let this fat. I ain't gonna say nothing. Y'all letting him do this? So good luck. How you go get him in check to play with him? Like, what all-stars go fit in that system? Y'all do know y'all change. If y'all get an all-star, y'all got to change your system. And if you change your system, Jokic won't be averaging triple doubles no more. So are y'all willing to sacrifice? And this is just the Denver fans. Are y'all willing to sacrifice Jokic's numbers for wins? Are y'all willing to say, okay, Jokic, we not playing triple-double basketball no more. We playing real basketball. So are you willing to play something bigger than yourself, or do you still want triple-doubles every game? It's going to be either or. It's not going to be both. Now, here's a big trade because I hear Milwaukee and Giannis is talking about parting ways. Can you make a run at Giannis? That's 40, what is that, 48, 49 mil? You really got to make that money work for that. So you gonna have to make that work, you're gonna have to give up Porter and Aaron Gordon, Dario Saric, Pickett, just to make the money work. In return, you go get Kuzma and Giannis. Y'all like that? I like that. Giannis, Jokic. So you get defense, you get a 30-point score, and you still got Jamal Murray. But whose team does it become when Giannis get there? He's not a shooter, so he's not going to be standing over in the corner. So guess what you got to do? You got to give Giannis the ball. Let him run downhill. What Jokic go do? How does that offense work? How do you spread the floor with Giannis on the floor? You're not gonna stand here over in the 3-point line and say, "Hey, just stand there and catch and shoot when Jokic passes it to you." That's not gonna happen. So them double teams gonna be coming. Now, Giannis goes, he's gonna cut. He's not gonna stand at the 3-point line. He's on the cut. But that's the same thing we thought of Westbrook. Of course, Westbrook is not as big as Giannis. So Giannis cutting and Westbrook cutting is two different things. I understand. But is this how y'all want to play y'all offense? Basically, what Giannis is going to become is Aaron Gordon without the threes. He's going to be the guy that's going to be guarding the best player if they're wing. He's going to be slashing and catching those alley-oops from Giannis, from Jokic. But the only difference is he's at his best when he got the ball in his hand. That's different from Aaron Gordon. So how are you going to incorporate that? Once again, Jokic numbers are going to go down. So any all-star you go and get, you got to change the way you play. And guess what the catch-22 is to that? If you change the way you play, you can keep the guys you got and win. You don't have to make a trade. If you change the way you play and stop playing triple-double basketball, you will win more games. So making a trade for an all-star, and guess what will happen if you win more games? Somebody on your team is going to make all-star. The reason why Denver don't get another all-star other than Jokic is because you don't get multiple all-stars from a team that's in the 5th seed. When you look at the teams that got multiple all-stars, except for a couple of years, maybe a year that Phoenix, maybe it was last year, not this year, last year, where Phoenix didn't have such a great record, but they still chose Booker and KD in the all-star. Right, that's an anomaly, but it's because it's already two established perennial all-stars that the NBA really don't want to leave out. So that give you your leeway and give you the benefit of the doubt. But for the most part, the teams that got multiple all-stars are occupying the number 1 seed in their conference, the number 2 seed, maybe the number 3 seed. But you're not going to go all the way to the 5th seed and get 2 all-stars. So when not Denver, but when Boston was in the 1 seed in the East, 2 seed in the East, you got Tatum and Brown, right? When SGA is in the 1 seed, you get Williams and SGA, right? When who else? Who was number 1 last year? I'm trying to think. In the East. Oh, this year. Who was number 1 in the East this year? Cleveland. Cleveland number 1. They had multiple all-stars. I think they might have had 3. Mitchell, Garland. But no, just Mitchell and Garland. I don't think they got Mobley in. Might have just been Mitchell and Garland, but that's 2. Right? So when you're in the 1 and 2 seed, you can get that. Detroit back in the day, they had Billups, Rip Hamilton, and Rashid. Right. So you got to be in the top seed to get multiple all-stars. So it's not that Denver don't have all-star level players. Is that they play such a bad brand of basketball, they can never, with the best player in the league, you would think they're being the 1, 2, or 3 seed consistently. But they're consistently in the 5th seed, 4th seed, 4th and 5th. They're rarely up in that number 1 seed. That's why they're not having multiple All-Stars. That's why. Houston only had one All-Star this year with Sengun. Right? And nobody was saying, oh man, Sengun ain't got no help. He ain't never played with no All-Star. Sengun was the only All-Star in Houston. Nobody is calling his players out and saying, oh man, he need more help. And Sengun is not the best player in the world, supposedly, quote unquote. It's supposed to be Jokic. So how is it Sengun can get in the 3 seed? They might have been in the 2 seed. No, they don't know. OKC was 1. Yeah, Houston was in the 2 seed with 1 All-Star. But you telling me Jokic can't get in the 2 seed with just him being an All-Star? But Sengun can do it. You want to know why Houston could do it? Because they played freaking defense. They played defense. So, yeah, man. Operation Help Jokic out. We go find y'all All-Star, man. We go find y'all a trade. We go find y'all a trade, man. I know Denver fans are crying right now, man. SGA up 3-1. He got the MVP holding it, man. He got the title of best player in the world. And it looked like he about to get a trip to the finals, man. I know y'all hurt, Jokic fans, Denver Nuggets fans. I know y'all hurt, man. Like, it's not fair. It's really not fair. It's not fair that Jokic can't play defense. And I feel for y'all, man, but it is what it is, man. I'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.